Alright, friends, how's it going? Mr. Dave here. We are going to do. I gotta turn the volumes up and down. Lesson 3 on the music of Jamaica. We're gonna get into the history and the different styles of Jamaican music. Alright, I'm gonna disappear, even though I'm probably pretty small on the screen right now. And we're gonna get into that. Okay. Now we should be able to do this. We should be good to go. We're gonna watch a little bit of this video on ska music.
Ska. Get it? Ska originated in Jamaica in the late 1950s as a fusion of Caribbean styles with American jazz and rhythm and blues. This is now referred to as the first generation, or first wave if you prefer, of ska music, with the second being in Britain in the 1970s and the third being America in the 1980s. We're going to have a look at each of these movements in a little more detail. The origins of ska, believe it or not, will take us back to World War II. During World War II, American forces were stationed in Jamaica and brought with them their own music. Artists such as Fats Domino and Willie Jackson would prove to be popular with the locals. When the war ended and American troops went home, there was a surge in radio sales as Jamaicans didn't want to lose touch with their new obsession. Jamaican DJs formed groups known as sound systems to play this music, and sound systems became very popular very quickly. By the 1960s, artists had begun to fuse these American styles with Caribbean styles to create ska, and it quickly became the dominant musical style in Jamaica. The first ska recordings included Prince Buster, who was based in Kingston, Jamaica. In 1962, Jamaica gained independence from the British Empire, and ska music was used to celebrate this fact, a good example being Freedom Sound by the Skatalites. The newly independent Jamaica didn't recognise copyright law in the same way as the rest of the world, which allowed artists to cover and reinterpret other people's work freely. Pretty much anything was up for grabs. There are ska versions of Beatles songs, Motown, Bob Dylan, and plenty more. By the late 60s, the dominant forms of music in the US had slowed in tempo, and as a result, so did Jamaican ska. It would soon evolve into what we now recognise as rock steady, and then reggae.
Alright, we're going to come back to that. So, let's check with Bob Marley. He's got something to say about the 3 types of Jamaican music. Make sure.
When the musicians in Jamaica started to play, a lot of them can play calypso too, because they play a lot of calypso. But because the American influence music come past through down there, you know, them start to kind of get more to them time used to have Fats Domino.
Yes.
And plenty of them type of people. So after a while now the music start drift from the reggae. See, it used to be a music almost like a half blues. When used to play before the ska start, you know. Even people like Joe Higgs, cha-na-na, cha-na-na-na-na, cha-na-na, cha-na-na-na. You know that music?
Right.
Used to play that plenty. So from there now it developed to people start ching, 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 ching for ska, you know. And then for rocksteady like jing, jing, jing. For reggae now it's check, 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 you know. So
Alright, so that's a pretty good description, but it's also kind of hard to describe, kind of hard to understand, because he's describing the feel of the music. This guy does a really good job of showing us what he's describing on the guitar.
So there's this video on YouTube of Bob Marley talking about the difference between ska, rocksteady, and reggae, but a lot of people couldn't understand it apparently. I was reading the comments and they didn't really understand what he was saying about the differences, and they are kind of subtle in some ways. So I'm going to go through what the difference is between ska, rocksteady, reggae, the progression from ska to reggae. So ska was the original. Rapid fire staccato strums on the offbeat, very danceable music.
Just a quick pause there. When he says the offbeat, we learned about that in our last lesson with the reggae rhythm. So it's all on the syncopated beat. A lot of Jamaican music, the guitar plays on the syncopated beat. Our friend's going to continue.
So then came Rocksteady in the 60s. And it's basically just a slowed down version of ska. So here's Rocksteady. It's a little more of a sway, a little slower. Great, usually background harmonies and things like that happen on these old Rocksteady tunes. Check out Alton Ellis, Rocksteady. Good song, good Rocksteady song. If you're not quite sure what Rocksteady is, really quick two-strum pattern. Goes like this. See that quick double strum?
And winding up there with the reggae, there's a double strum on the offbeat. Alright, friends, to wrap up class, we are going to do kind of a quiz. We're going to listen to a little bit of two songs. I want you guys to tell me which one is ska. Is song A, this one right here is ska. Here is...
Madness, madness, they call it madness. Madness, madness, they call it madness. It's plain to see, that is what they mean to me. Madness, madness, I call it gladness. Madness, madness, they call it madness. Madness, madness, they call it madness. I'm about to explain that someone is using his brain. Madness, madness, they call it gladness. Propaganda ministers, propaganda ministers. I've got a aim in view. I'm gonna walk all over you. Cause madness, madness, I call it gladness. But if this is madness, man, I know I'm filled with gladness. It's gonna be rougher, it's gonna be tougher, and I won't be the one who's gonna suffer. Oh no, I won't be the one who's gonna suffer.
Alright, there's our first one. Was song number 1 by Prince Buster, ska, or song number 2 by Jimmy Cliff?
To control myself and to give opportunity
Oops,
to
he's
less
talking.
less fortunate who is not in the position that I once was in. wanted man. I'm a wanted man right now in the world. You see, I'm a wanted man.
Friends, which one was ska? Prince Buster or Jimmy Cliff?